Good morning. If you're like me and you woke up with super puffy eyes this morning, then this routine using the lymphatic brush is for you. For those new here, my name is Cecily Braden and I am founder and creator of the lymphatic brush. And for this routine, you will need both the large lymphatic brush and the small lymphatic brush. Although they look the same, the length of the textured bristles and the density of the foundational base that provides the appropriate and precise stretch, torque, pull that you need to achieve the best results are different for each. So I will start with the large lymphatic brush. It's best for the neck and the jawline, and especially in the lower cheek region where we have a lot of muscle tension and we get a lot of blockages and buildup and stagnation, which causes and creates an accumulation of fluids and puffy eyes, dark circles. It can also lead to hyperpigmentation along with breakouts and acne. So this routine I'm doing for my puffy eyes this morning, but you can also start with this if you're experiencing any other skincare issues. It's kind of a foundational base routine. So grab your large brush, and I am going to start right at the hollow of my neck terminus, and I'm gonna place the textured bristles. Those are your little workers, these little nubs that grip the skin, and just give it a little bit of a rotation. I'm not twisting, just rotating in and around. It's not about pressure, it's about connection, connecting with those textured bristles. And sometimes I like to give it a little bit of a stretch and then a wiggle, coming in through there, just kind of warming up the area, priming the pump. And I like to come in from all of the surrounding areas that drain into terminus, especially right along my clavicle where the platysma wraps up and over and can cause little adhesions and also affect posture. So this provides a lot of benefits in addition to opening up the area for all of the fluids to flow from above. So now I'm gonna start and just overlap my strokes. I'm gonna connect the textured bristles. This is excellent if you have any type of tension in your neck. I live in New York City, so I carry a lot of heavy bags, always lugging things around. And so just providing this relief in my upper shoulders and encouraging the flow from my upper back. And then coming in around my neck. And I know I said this is for puffy eyes, but this actually is the routine. If you think of your face as a funnel, all of the fluids have to flow outward and down your neck. And so when we have puffiness, we want to open up these passages and these pathways that lead to the neck for the drainage to happen. So we never want to start just on the eyes. We always want to make sure that we give the neck some love as well, open up all the pathways. Also, if you're having a stressful day, this is a great routine. This follows that vagus nerve and helps calm and relax. So as I come up, a lot of times if I'm having a lot of tension, maybe I slept wrong, or again, just having a stressful day, I just give my neck a little bit of a stretch as I sweep down. And just create the space for those fluids to flow. If you only have a few minutes, then this would be the most important part. I call this area the roundabout. And it's just like a roundabout with traffic. And it is the junction where we have fluids flowing from all different directions. And so they kind of accumulate here. And all of the fluids have to be processed before they flow down to terminus. And so this is an area that you want to just kind of spend some time on. And I'm just connecting the bristles, and I like to give it just a little bit of a pull, right? Just stretch. Again, it's not about pressure. I just want to stretch, open up that area, and provide some space right in the tissue. Gonna open up that fiber network so the fluids can flow through and release any adhesions and knots and tangles that might be contributing to my puffy eyes. And then I'm gonna start, I just place the brush right in front of my ears. It's about a 2-finger width, and you can come in and just pulse, 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 okay? And again, I'm just letting those textured bristles grip the skin, and I'm moving it, and they're connecting, and they're pulling and stretching and opening up those little valves, and these little endothelial cells, these flaps on the end of the lymphatic vessels that open up and allow fluid to flow into the lymphatic vessel. So anytime you can just stretch, release, okay, that's really helping to encourage that flow, and it creates this intravessel pressure, which again helps the contraction, helps increase the contraction rate and increase the flow, okay? So coming in and along, now I wanna contour my jaw, connect and sweep out. Just gonna overlap. I can feel a little stickiness in where my jawline curves around. And again, that's an area that tends to get really sticky and matted and tangled. And so I'm just gonna come in and sweep, overlap my sweeps, and just see if I can't untangle that area. And then follow that stroke all the way out and down. Now, I'm gonna switch to the smaller lymphatic brush because I wanna focus in on this inner and outer triangle and provide some directional flow for the fluids to drain from my eye area. It's really important that your neck and all the area under your jawline and in front of your ear is clear and those pathways are open for the fluids to flow. So I'm just gonna come in here and then come around my mouth. Now, you wanna connect the bristles and get that little tiny bit of a stretch. And you can't overstretch with the lymphatic brush. The way that it's designed and carefully engineered, it has a specific density that grips and grabs the skin without overstretching. So if you come in and you give it a little bit of a stretch, it's gonna help provide the movement that you need, but if you continue, it's just gonna turn into a sweep. So you don't have to worry about overstretching the skin. However, we do want that connection, and that's the brilliance of the lymphatic brush, is that it grips and stretches the skin very precisely, but it's not gonna overstretch it. So it's safe for home use, and you don't have to worry if you have overstretched. So you just wanna connect the textured bristles and then start to sweep from under the area where you have the puffiness and just create that lymphatic waterfall. Let it drain, let it drain. I'm gonna do some outward sweeps. And you can already see that my eye is looking much better. My nasolabial fold is softening because fluid tends to pool right in this area as well. So it gives you those kind of puffy, sagging jowls, and then it puddles underneath your jawline, your chin. And so we're just going to encourage the flow and handle all of that at the same time that I am working to minimize this puffiness in and around my eyes. I call this one the windshield wiper. Just coming right below, stretching a tiny bit under here, not overstretching, connection of the textured bristles. My touch is light and sweeping around. Connect and sweep all the way out, all the way down. Now this is also gonna give you a lifted and sculpted appearance, but with downward and outward strokes. You should not be coming in and up. That is not how the lymphatic brush is used. It's used as a draining device that will unearth the natural contours of your face to sculpt as you drain. And then just back down. So I'm gonna repeat that on the other side and get rid of the puffiness that I'm experiencing here and those dark circles. Have a good day.